Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our weekly Career Health Hour. Today is all about values, and so we're going to look at what I call values in action, like living your values. And we will use it as a direction that can guide your week to week choices. So, for those of you that are new to our weekly career health hour, or for those of you that haven't met me yet, my name is Tina Marie Heinrich, but you can just call me Tina or Tina Marie. And I included the slide here so you have a better understanding of my background. So I already have completed degrees in business management and economics. So I have an MBA, Master of Science, and a Bachelor of Arts, majors in human resources and global supply chain management. I'm currently completing my Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology, and I'm going to graduate next month. So that's in August 2026, which is pretty exciting. I am a chartered professional in human resources, meaning I have my CPHR, and I'm also a Society of Human Resource Management certified professional, or also called SHRM CP. And what I bring here to the table to you today is, of course, the clinical lens combined with over 15 years of corporate experience, including being formally trained and practicing trauma-informed HR, leadership, staff management, organizational development, and marketing. Okay, so let's look at today's agenda. So we will start with our check-in, as we usually do. And then we will spend some time looking at values from the perspective of directions for our living. Then we have our individual activity for today, which is from values to tiny actions. And then we will go into our breakout sessions, where you are going to have values in action conversations. And then we will do our takeaways and closing. I should mention, for those of you that missed the previous Career Health hourly or weekly hour sessions, I recorded the previous two sessions, and they're all on my YouTube channel, so you can find it under Wegweiser Counselling. And if you need the link, just send me a message. Okay. So for the welcome or check-in activity for today, we're doing something similar to last week. So we will go around our virtual group here, and I would like you to name one value that feels important in your work right now. To make it a bit easier, I gave you some examples here on the slide. So you can pick any of those from the slide, or you can use something else that comes to your mind. Yeah. Values as direction of living. So for today, let's think of values as directions you want to move into, not labels or marketing words. Values are about how you show up in your sessions with your client, but also in supervision. It's also about how you treat yourself between sessions and across your week. They are also about how you make small decisions about time, energy, and your boundaries. So, in our value conversations here today, we are not using values to define a niche or to come up with what your ideal client looks like. We are using them to shape tiny, concrete behaviors that protect your career health. I am trying to give you an example here. So let's say, for example, we pick compassion as one of the values. So when we say like values in action, this value, meaning compassion, means how you talk to yourself after maybe one of the harder sessions, or maybe how you structure breaks so you can stay present with your clients. So it could be breaks in between session, or maybe you take a day off during your week. Let's pick another value here as an example. Maybe somebody else might mention steadiness. as a value. And this might show up in how you manage your schedule, so you're not constantly rushing. And this might even apply when you, for example, are still working on finding out what does your niche look like. To make it a bit more concrete, let's look at the activity that I have prepared for our session here today. So let's go to the next slide. And then I think doing this activity will make it a bit more clear for you. Okay, so before we start setting the timer here, let's go through what the activity is about. And the activity is called From Values to Tiny Actions. So there are 4 steps for the activity. So I've breaking down the activity into 4 steps. The first step is, again, using pen and paper, to write on 1 or 2 of your own values. So just pick 1 or 2 that feel especially important for you right now, depending on where you're at in your career season. If you're not familiar with the term career season, just think back on the session we did last week where we reviewed different seasons a counselor might be in their career. Okay, for step 2, I would like you to notice where those one or two values already show up. So for each value, answer where does it show up in my week? Right, let's try to come up with some examples here. And then the next step, it's about just imagine one tiny action for next week. So for each value you have written down, try to answer the following question. What is one small concrete way I could live this value a bit more next week? And then for step number 4, I would like you to review everything you've written down under step 1, 2, and 3, and just select the one action that feels most realistic in the season you're currently at as a counselor. Something that you could imagine actually doing given your current capacity, fit, and recovery. This ties into what we discussed in week 1, the 3 pillars: capacity, fit, and recovery. Okay, I will set the timer here for 10 minutes. I want to make sure you do have enough time. So, so please follow those steps. If you have, if you finish earlier, then feel free to do the same for a third value if you want to. Okay, and then we will come back here in 10 minutes. Okay, so before I put you into groups here for our breakout session, just want to go briefly here through the slides so you have an idea what you're going to do next. So I will put you into groups of 2 or 3, and then you have about, let's say, like 20 minutes roughly. And I would like you to take turns and share with each other what you wrote down in the individual activity. The values you chose for the season you're currently in, how they are already showing up in your week, and one tiny action that you feel you can actually really implement for next week. And then if you are in the role of the person who's listening, just focus on reflecting back the other person's ways of their values and action, how it sounds to you, and focus on asking curious, non-fixing questions. Just basically be like a sounding board for the other person. Similar to before, use your own judgment, please, regarding what you are sharing with each other. So it's totally up to you. As a reminder, this is a safe space, and whatever you discuss in the breakout sessions will remain confidential. So I will leave this up to your own judgment, what you're sharing with each other. Okay, and I will set the timer here for 20 minutes, and then we will all come back here to the main room. Looks like everybody is back. So, yeah, let's do a debrief here as a group. And yeah, for doing it, I put some prompts here on the slide. So feel free to use any of those. You don't have to totally your choice. If you want to use some of the prompts here, one of them is, what is one tiny value in action step you're planning to try this week? So we would like to hear from you what this looks like. If you want, you can share what did you notice when you linked your values to small behaviors, rather than just linking them to like a niche or branding. And if you want, you can also finish the following sentence here, the following statement. And you have some placeholders here on the slide. Um, for example, this week I will bring a bit more, say maybe compassion as a value, to name a specific situation. It could be, for example, maybe one of the more challenging clients you're seeing, or could be something else. And last but not least, I want to open it up here if there are any comments, thoughts, or feedback. Feel free to share it with me now, or you can just send me an email. Always welcome any kind of feedback that you have. And also feel free to share with me what kind of topics you would like to see covered in these sessions here in the future. And I think we are at time here. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing you all again for our session next week.